ruins of Symbaroum, a dream site revealed a well, a cauldron, a sinkhole. Out of its depth a blightling came sidling, filth forged in flesh, cruelty carved in bone, a decoction of the world serpent's marrow. The blight beast ogled me hungrily, and in its burning eyes I saw the death of all.
It is okay, and we're back on the other side. Fantastic trailer. Shout out to Sam and Free League for that. How about before I talk about Symbaroum and the Promised Land, we talk about shows on the channel? Because I'm standing on the shoulders of many giants right now. Starting with the Goblin version of Sam from an alternate dimension.
Joke is I'm always a goblin, so this is perfect. Hello, I'm Sam, ScribblingPenny on the internet. I'm the community manager of Weave the Tale, so that's why they let me in. I'm not actually running anything this season, except for a one-shot this Wednesday, which is going to be amazing. We'll be running Upriver, Downriver, which I love anything tarot-based, so it's fantastic. Just finished on Kickstarter, so make sure you check that out. And basically any of our one-shots on Wednesday are going to be from indie game designers. Games that have not yet been released are going to be released soon, or just fun, quirky, horribly amazing things of all types of genres. So definitely check out the One Shot Wednesday. I think after I run one, I think everyone around here is going to run one at least once. So yeah, I just snuck my way on here because I'm a bully and a goblin, but it's going to be great.
Yes.
And I'm excited.
Yeah, true fact, when I first met Sam, I saw the goblin attire and thought, you should absolutely play in a game of Symbaroum wearing that. Yes, that was how we met.
Go around like
the
this.
Weirdest.
Yeah,
at least at the bus station. Yeah, it was wild. Mitch, welcome back.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, good to be back. My name is Mitch. You can find me at Mitchsbustillos on all the Twitters. Other than that, I'm a lover of indie TTRPGs, and I'm very excited about Symbaroum. This is my favorite fantasy TTRPG, so it's always exciting to hop back into it.
Yeah. Wait, button. Pope.
Holy Pope.
Hey, everybody. Popeworldbuild on Twitter, Popeworldbuild on Twitch. I lurk in all your streams. And speaking of streams, this Sunday, at 3 p.m. Eastern, I will be running Pugmire What Lies Buried. A drastic contrast to what we'll be getting into this evening, as it is a world that man has left behind to all sorts of critters, specifically very good dogs and cats. And so if you're looking for something that reminds you a little of Redwall, maybe not quite as harsh as Redwall, but still like a good family-friendly time of high adventure, please come on by. We have a bunch of very good dogs to introduce you all to, so I'm looking forward to that.
I'm bringing it on down. We already spoke with Anthony.
Yep, it's
Hi
me,
again.
Anthony. Pronouns he, him. You can find me on Twitter at Prainntheplague. And today I'll be playing Drachna Agmam, and that'll be a she, her pronouns. I'm really excited to play with everybody. First game of the season for Symbaroum. You can find me later on this week on Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to play Blue Rose, which is also a drastic contrast to Symbaroum. It's going to be a like royal courts, queer and trans focused stories in a beautiful like fantasy like high royal setting. I really can't wait for it. It's going to be a West Marches style campaign over 10 weeks, so we have a huge cast and a bunch of amazing people that I'm excited to play with. And some sessions are going to be horror, some more fairy tale, and some just extremely romantic drinking out at the gay bar that Ian is going to create. So I'm really excited for my game of Blue Rose on Friday. So, ooh, that's me.
All right. All right. Last, certainly not least, Paul.
Hey everybody, you can find me at PaulMarch6 on Twitter. I am back with another go round on Weave. I'll be running our second run game. We'll start not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday, February 1st. And from Escape from Aslan, which is a prison break themed shadow run game. It's not going to take place in the normal sprawl, but in some more interesting environments and explore some places that haven't really been explored in the shadow run setting in a while. I have a very eclectic cast, a very interesting, focused individual, bring light to a lot of good characters and a great time. So that's what I've got going on from my game. Also, when you met Sam at the bus stop, it wasn't a costume, just letting you know, because that's played me into this, as we're emphasizing.
Characters welcome. I mean, it doesn't matter because I'm here, so just follow the channel because I also lurk in all of these streams. I'm here to represent this show. I will be running Symbaroum on Mondays for a while because we have the Promised Land, which is a one or a two-parter based on Mitchell. I don't know which other way to cut it. He's the Chaos Goblin here. No offense, Sam. And I could easily see this taking 2 episodes. But then beyond that, we're starting with the Copper Crown. We're just going to call the show the Symbaroum Stories, and we'll take it where the players want to go, those who survive. But I guess it's time to bring it in. Let's start with a campfire. Some of you have come alone, and some of you have come with a friend or two. We'll start with Paul, Sam, your 2 characters. You knew each other, and you've met before you arrived at the camp here. The camp in question is south of the Titans, a massive mountain pass that separates Old Albirator to Ambria and eventually Davokar to the north. Albirator, for the purposes of the game, represents the past and doesn't matter now. What matters is those who survived it and its darkness and treachery are looking for relative peace in Yndaros and beyond. What would you 2 be doing in this camp?
Probably just making our way into it because my good traveling guide and goblin acquaintance, because I don't want to say, I don't think there's a better way to put that. Acquaintance is a great way to put it. Does a lot of my transfer work because much like my character, who's now your naive, I know nothing about this. This is going to be a fun adventure for me as a player as well. But probably just making our way here, getting ready to get together and join. My understanding there's a caravan passing through the area so that we can join up with them because traveling alone is dangerous. Because everything will hit you. Literally everything.
Yeah, sometimes even the people you're traveling with.
Mm-hmm.
Very well.
That's fine.
Yeah, so basically you need to find a caravan. Traveling alone is often suicidal, often illegal. In this case, you're worried it might be both. There is a camp of people traveling up. You are near the border where this camp is formed. But I guess this affects other people pretty quickly. I want to ask Mitchell, how is your character here? And how is your character here in a way that isn't immediately spelling your death?
Oisin came through the Titan paths and the long spinal columns that divide the past and the present of the Ambrian people to bear witness to the land that was destroyed and left empty. It's a constant reminder of mistakes and the ripples that happen. So now he's returning back across the mountains and seeking passage. Yeah, he's just sitting by the fire, watching the glow of it, warming his hands, and he's an individual who enjoys looking someone in the eye. So if anyone ever glances about and their eyes meet, he will surely approach them and start a conversation up.
Very well. Pope? Actually, Mitch, what would you look like from afar to a human? Do you appear human, or is it?
Yeah, it's this Ocean looks very much human. Only if you were to get the pleasure of seeing him in his barest of forms, that you'll discover that there's something different and unique about him. But for the most part, he looks like an individual with a sort of bestial marking, some golden scales around his forehead leading up to his hair, which he pushes off as just a small bit of unfortunate genes that have been passed down, but nothing to worry about.
Okay. Well, you might be looking Maevryn in the eyes. If Pope, if you want to enter here, someone sitting closest to the fire.
I am fine with entering here. Though Maevryn is one to, for the most part, keep eyes down. He is here past the Titans as part of a trial for his order from the Church of Prios as walking the path of the Confessor. And so he is here to aid those that are seeking to make the journey north, especially since most of these caravans end up in his homestead. So what better way to aid those who need the light of Prios than to guide them home from one to another.
Yeah, so I'm going to meet your eye. If it ever glances about, maybe it passes upwards towards the stars, and I just kind of get that one little spot where it kind of glances over at, and I'm going to shift myself with my little backpack and take a seat by you. I'm Ocean. It's a pleasure.
I am Maevryn, traveler. It is a pleasure to meet you.
That's good news. Would you like to share a meal with me, perhaps? Maybe I have some roots in my backpack. It's some sage and maybe some berries. We could include it. Maybe have some sort of like soup or something. Share a meal together.
You are most generous, but I'm afraid I must decline. Till we set off, I must fast.
Religious or spiritual?
It is, again, a part of my trials. Until I find those who I should travel with and help guide past the threats of these mountains into the promised land, I must hold to just water.
That's fair. I've been over several times here and there. I don't know if Promised Land seems sort of hyperbole at times, but I'm happy. There is optimism on this side of the spine.
Given the horrors that have visited this place, horrors that Prios's light and flame have delivered, many but not nearly enough. What lies on the other side, by comparison, is almost a paradise. As long as one avoids the shadows of Davokar, one can meet a simple but good life.
Well, how about this? In exchange for the offering of sage and berries, in the eventuality that one day we will share a pot of soup together at some point in time. How about for the immediate time, we align ourselves, 'cause we both want to go over the spine in a safe manner, so we watch each other's back.
Certainly. Again, I am oath-bound to try and preserve life as best I can.
Excellent. Then, all right. Maevryn.
Maevryn, yes.
Maevryn. All right. Excellent. All right. Well, then you and I, two sage berries in a pot, will be until we cross the spine and we see what adventures await us then.
To peaceful travels.
Drachna, how far away would you stay away from this camp?
That's a good question. I'd probably be at least a couple, like 100 or 200 yards out. Enough that I can still see, hear. If I climb to the top of the tree and kind of really wait. But my camp is set up around there, so if I could have heard that.
Yeah. You might be able to smell it if it's by the fire.
Ooh.
Yeah. If anything's cooking, I don't know. I don't know how trained you are in that. Depends on your background.
So I do possess the bushcraft trait, but I'll introduce what you see. And so you see the hair, medium length hair of a brown-haired witch of Karvost, kind of exiled, wandering without companions or really anybody else, in a small camp right outside this hold here. Climbing up this tree. I want to go ahead and use bushcraft to kind of sniff it out since I've been here for so long.
Okay, yeah. Absolutely. Let's see. Is there a roll for that?
So I don't believe so. I think it's just a kind of a...
It's the trait itself is a vigilant test. I can find food and water to feed them, but this is kind of a mixing of things within that realm.
It's true.
Yeah,
Outside the
that's true.
purview.
Yeah, I mean it works. You'd be able to identify anything surface, especially anything related to your background, because you and Ocean have both seen probably more than you're comfortable with up north.
Oh, yeah. I would love to sniff out the corruption in the air, or something potentially in my pristine forest. I should know its source. I'll seek it out.
Very well. I want to ask, and this might be knowing Paul's character a little too well, but where's your comfortable place around the camp? I think you're muted.
Probably not near the campfire directly, but probably in the area that is like that 1 or 2 rings back, that everybody's kind of common-y place. After traveling with his associate for so long, he's realized that trying to hang out with the other humans, if you have a goblin compatriot, just leads to more bickering and annoyance. And because, they use them as a pretty reasonable guide, he's kind of moved to that second tier, like right past the campfire type situation. And just kind of hanging out that area, for lack of a better term, the lower in, not like the lower in, like not the richest area, not the most state.
Right.
So they've probably moved back to that kind of more relaxed, excuse me, area there, rather than try to get all up in the business of the camp.
Right. Dear Goblin, do you have bushcraft?
Bushcraft? What does Gesvilk need bushcraft for? No.
Okay. The assumption is that if you're here, unless you sought otherwise, you will have modest equipment for camping, though the bitter early fall air is already starting to sink into your bones, only just after dusk. Fire would be comfortable. There's a fire closer in, but that requires trust. You could also set out somewhere else.
I feel like Gesvilk will get a little bit closer to Karlio. You should go by the fire.
You sure?
If you freeze, you can't give Gesvilk coin.
That is fair. Just keep an eye on things then. And he'll head in closer to the fire. He will look around based upon things you do know about my character, Ian. And we'll look around to see if there's, like overhangs. And there is a lot of rustling in the trees that should stand out of place for him. Not trying to call out something, but given the way he operates in the trees is a situation.
Right. Yeah.
Ruffling around in the trees.
Is there a witch in the trees? Is that what I'm getting?
I don't know. Is there a witch in the trees? I don't know if there's a witch in the tree.
I don't make rolls.
He's not
I don't
necessarily
know.
looking for a witch in the tree. I can make a roll about seeing if there's a witch in the tree, I guess, because that's some vigilance. Probably not, though. Let's give it a try.
There's like a wicked wind that causes that sort of howling
not seeing
effect. But
At which point, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and roll here and see how much I can just detect while Karlio's just looking out. So let's see.
Drachna, are you in the tree? Is that or
Yeah,
you're
yeah, I'm
just
totally
somewhere else?
climbing up some tree right now. No, I'm totally climbing
Okay.
up some tree right now.
Okay.
It just wasn't seen.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Heard but not seen. I'm like, little weird, but yeah.
Must be the wind.
Yep, clearly the wind. It's always the wind. What else would it be? It could be nothing else but the wind in the trees. But yeah, he'll move.
And
He'll move in closer to the campfire, trying to keep a lookout. About not like super intense, but like just trying to make sure nothing goes horribly wrong. He's a bit out of. He feels a bit out of place.
Right.
But knows that you have to associate with people. He will be a little bit eyebrow raisy when he sees the individual. Like, Pope, are you dressed in like the full garb, like full missionary?
Yeah,
like
yes, he's got the full red robes of the Church of Prios, but again, they're somewhat hidden by the black cloak that he wears.
Legit. And he will not be completely taken by the full garb of the individual who's just kind of hanging out there. But like, no, he'll head into that area and be like, and just like get closer to the fire, get a little bit of warmth, but not really make any major eye contact. He will raise an eyebrow, seeing like if he catches a glint of the red robes of the priest. Not expecting to see that here.
Hey, if you're by the fire, would you, I was gonna make some berry soup, if you're so inclined to try out some of my cooking, if you like.
He'll look over. I appreciate the offer and the hospitality, but we have recently eaten. I thank you. My compatriot may wish some, but unfortunately, most people don't show them very much kindness.
Well, I
That's
think
unfortunate.
in the middle of the
Should bring
night,
them by.
fire doesn't really care what type of person you are. So yeah.
Sure.
But what
He'll wave.
Maevryn said.
He'll wave the goblin over.
The goblin in question is currently wandering around, staring, kind of having a focused look on their face, as they're like scanning the tree line. Their eyes have darkened slightly. Their veins more pronounced that are leading up to their eyes, as they're kind of stop in a certain location, just kind of cock their head to the side, just kind of staring right at Drachna.
It's just looking over, seeing down from above, and trying to stay out of purview by switching sides on the tree and kind of hopefully blending in with the thistle.
Sneaksies in the tree.
What?
Geshvilk will walk closer. Why are you sneaksies about?
And then I'm just gonna, just slide on down and speak to the little goblin that's definitely found me and say, "Wow, none of your friends seem to have found me, and I've done a pretty good job staying away from everybody, but it seems that you found me in quite a flash. That was pretty impressive. Pleased to make your acquaintance. My name's Drachna."
Geshvilk's like quiet. What does Drachna's shadow look like?
Is like a viridian, like blooming shadow. It's like glorious and green.
Yeah.
You're shiny. You're pretty shiny. Why you lurksings in the tree?
I've just been alone on my own for so long. I came here south quite a long time ago, but I'm not allied with the Karvost or the Ambrians or the Davokar or anyone really. I just kind of keep to myself in these woods, and I practice my hexes, my magic, my curses, and I stay sharp. But apart from that, I stay alone. Imagine my surprise when I see so many show up so quickly. It's scary, and the scent of corruption is not lost on your band.
You sense corruption.
I do.
Anyone?
I smell its acrid odor.
Geshvilk will take a step closer to towards you.
Whoa. Back off a little bit.
There's
A little attentive.
why is a witch alone in the woods? Witches travel in clans.
Listen, I'd rather not get into the details, and you seem perceptive and cunning, vigilant. Maybe in the future I'll share with you the details, but I'm exiled. I no longer serve or see any of the other Karvosti, and now I wander, alone, the century of the wilds.
Geshvilk will very abruptly point back to the fire where Karlio is sitting. You hurt him, and I'll eat you.
Listen, I need some food too, and I do my fair bit of eating, but I think none of you look as appealing as what I could forage on my own in but an hour's time. I'd be pleased to sit with you and make use of your fire, and roast some of these berries I've collected over the last couple days.
You see this look of confusion slightly cross over Geshvilk's face, kind of deepening those wrinkles and scars. Why you ask Geshvilk's permission to do something, you should just go.
Why? You have a right to that fire as much as anybody else there.
Not know the way
It's
of
your
things.
fire. The way of things is respect, especially out here. A lack of it could mean life and death, and that's one thing that Karvosti did impart on me. If I take your fire, if I kick you out of your spot, maybe you freeze, maybe you don't eat. I have to ask.
You're a strange one, shiny Drachna. You go to fire. But you remember,
I take a
you hurt him, I eat you.
no hurting, as I put a tree branch skewer speared with an assortment of blackberries and blueberries local to native to the area, about one for each finger gaps, 10 sticks in total, and I just kind of throw them into the fire right near the pit. Just kind of get near it, staying warm and looking at the others real quick. Well, mostly staring at my berries.
Hi, I'm Oisin.
Gonna hiss at you. Just gonna hiss at you. I'm sorry. I apologies. I didn't mean for the outburst.
No, I mean if that's how you greet people, that's fine. I was just taken aback.
No, not generally. I've just been out for so long. But you just smell so bad. I don't know what it is, but
What?
you reek. something. It's a little, just a little difficult. But I'm just trying to, eat my food, and it was very nice to meet you. And the others. And a crooked, yellow teeth smile rises from out, beneath the side of the mask. Give you back to my berries.
Yeah, that was odd. All right. Maeve. Can I call you Maeve? For the whole thing.
Certainly, traveler.
All right. There's a caravan going over the spine sometime tomorrow. Though in order to get into this caravan, supposedly you have to prove yourself. Most likely it'll be a violent confrontation. I am not a violent person. So I was hoping that maybe if we get together, by association, if you are able to draw blood concerning one of his guards, they will then bring me with them as well. I don't want to be trapped here before the winter comes. I prefer not to spend another day in this land.
No one should be trapped
I
here
miss
for
home.
winter. Where is home?
It's far north. I mean, I would say home is that sweet conversation in the middle of the night, kind of whispered into each other's ears. Or Thistlehold. Thistlehold is also good home. Carvosti, I will also call that a home. Some of the barbarian tribe, just everywhere would be great. How about yourself?
I'm from Yndaros.
I have yet to go to Yndaros. I hear great things. The queen has such splendid stories concerning her person. Ambrians
The
are
Queen is an interesting
fascinating.
figure.
Yeah.
It's definitely a place of opportunity. I will give it that.
So, Maeve, may
And it's
I
home.
be blunt with you for a second here?
I guess.
Will you be my champion tomorrow and aid me in crossing or at least securing caravan passage?
I don't think I have the martial capabilities to be anyone's champion, but I can definitely be your advocate.
That'll work too. Though we still need a champion. Some of these caravan leaders, they're awfully stingent concerning the coin that they have to spend in order to bring us across.
I'm certain that I can find reason with whoever's leading the caravan. I think my capabilities and the blessings that I can grant should offer amnesty to any weary traveler such as yourself, and hopefully secure us both passage.
That's lovely. I'm not weary, but I'm actually enjoying myself. And for those whose ears are growing red from the tantalizing offer about going across the spine before you're trapped here in this place, don't feel free to speak up if you want. This is awkward.
Gesvilk's
It
gonna
is.
plop down next to Karlio.
A burly man with a long mustache that looks sort of rotted or burned at the ends, hair parted down the middle, red, like Maevryn's, will sit on a log nearby as well. Seems to be a guard of some sort, just watching you, all picking at his teeth.
Oh, hello.
Who are you again?
I'm Oisin. This is my champion, Maevryn.
More
My
advocate.
advocate, Maevryn. My associate, Drachna. And the other two, I have misplaced their names, but I hope to find it maybe sometime in the next few moments.
Sun's light to you. The rest of you are misplaceable. You're not taking my spot. Don't even try.
What?
See, this is why we ask about the fire.
Yeah, we're going to try.
The limited spots? One would think it would be best to travel with as many as possible.
Oh no,
That's-
it's food and rations and all sorts of things. Yeah, it's terrible getting across it, and no doubt with the snow coming in from the spine and such, food's gonna be hard. You want at least people who have the decency not to bite at each other. Which I don't think you have the what is it, what is it when the stone, the foundation, what is it, Marv? What is it? How do you communicate to this? I don't think he has the foundation to not bite.
Again, I'm not the caravan leader. I'm just a simple priest.
Who
But
came from Yndaros though? So that's,
Yeah. Again, it is part of my trials in order to walk the path of the confessor. But no, that's just deeply unfortunate. Do we know where we can find this caravan leader? Is he someone who's known to the public?
Yeah, I figure maybe we can go over maybe tonight, like wait in line but camp
I don't necessarily want to interrupt his evening, considering that he's probably very busy, but possibly first thing in the morning once sun's light is up.
Yeah, you with the mustache.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Points. Behind you, there is a very nice round tent. It's almost shaped like a yurt. You can sort of feel the warmth radiating out of it. This cold autumn wind is enough to rustle a flap or two, and with it you get a gust of warmth. He's in there.
All right.
See you at dawn, Oisin. He just stumbles off.
Oh. Do you need berry or something? Do you want me to lead you to your tent? Oh, there it goes.
You don't seem well liked around here, Oisin. Did something happen?
No, I think statistically I'm very well liked within this campfire. There's one who is my advocate, one who is my companion, Drachna, and two individuals who are neutral. One individual was, I guess, my antithesis, but I think statistically I'm well liked, at least majority wise.
I meant that man does not seem to wish you to be traveling in his company in the near future.
He also seemed quite drunk.
Yeah. It's the longer I travel, it's the people who don't want to stare you in the face often have the most shame. But the people who are willing to look you in the eyes, they're people who don't live with shame. And so I think me looking at him constantly might have made him feel uncomfortable, and I'm sorry for that. I need to apologize to him in the morning.
Yes, I believe staring is rude in some cultures.
Yeah, I don't get it. I
More than
think it's
likely.
good stare.
I have heard some find it very obnoxious and rude. I'm not really sure myself. Karlio,
I guess I will just.
nice to meet you all.
What
Pleasure, Maevryn.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Maevryn. This is my associate. Apparently, these people are very kind and want you to introduce yourself. I don't want to give them the wrong impression.
Geshvilk.
Good to meet you, Geshvilk.
Good to meet you.
Geshvilk has been acting as my guide as I'm new to these lands. But can you tell us more of these spots on the caravan? I assume they want people that provide services. Some of them being martial.
Yeah.
Others being different.
Yeah. I think for the most part they don't really know what they need. Otherwise, Maeve and I would be like sought after and picked up. But you know, they do like an aggressive person. So I say hopefully, serendipitously, maybe there is 5 spots and we all end up traveling together up north.
Hopefully. Unfortunately, I'm not the most aggressive, but I
How many spots on the caravan?
I don't know. I can always inquire. But yeah, it is kind of late. And these berries, they warm my tongue.
I don't disagree with the idea of the first thing in the morning looking into the matter. That's probably a good
Geshvilk,
call.
go ask now. You are a red
No,
caravan. Geshvilk, go ask.
No, they might look unfavorably towards us. You understand, right, Maeve?
I think that there's definitely seems to be an impetus on this, and it is bad luck to look poorly upon a priest, so I guess I'm the one with the luck here to go and inquire.
Are you going to inquire tonight?
I have a feeling that that's probably a good idea all of a sudden. So
Okay. All right. Well, while you go over there, my suggestion, because it's so cold, is this is something my family used to do. We used to go back to back, arm to arm, in preparation for sleeping, so that we all stay warm. Drachna, you are from the barbarian clans. If I may be so bold, so maybe you're familiar with that sort of thing.
I do. I am, and then I present like a jar of berry preserves to each person at the campfire, warm, just hot.
This
like
is amazing.
a little bit of this before bedtime should keep you warm.
Oh.
Hopefully, at least now.
That is amazing. You cook and I'll sew during our adventures, and I think we will find ourselves most comfortable.
With like a ripped dress and like. We'll talk about that later.
All right.
Probably
let's get into under the pillows and blankets under the next to the fire, and we'll get in position. And yeah, keep us warm. For
We
the
may
night.
wish for our priest to return before we all curl up for the evening. We don't want to leave him out in the cold.
Yeah, that is, he's as an advocate, you do get best position, which is the middle. So, or as my friends used to say, the seed in the ripe fruit or berry. You are that seed.
Sure. I will let Margo do his talky thing.
yeah. So Maeve works his way to the caravan master's tent.
All right. Not far by. Rather, only a few paces. You have to move around it, though. Would you do anything as you enter.
Yes. Instead of being quite so meek, there is power in symbols. And so the cloak moves farther back as the robes come to the fore, adjusts holy symbol and necklace, showing off the bit of wealth that he does possess, and walks in at full height, copying the Father Superior that sent him here.
Argosto is his name. It's come to you now. Not seeing him, you remember. He makes Caravan Guard Cornell seem like a slender guy, barrel-chested, with just wide shoulders that sort of twist his arms by a posture, such that his hands would be sort of curled backwards. You see sometimes. He's cleaning a lightweight wooden table that's been set up here. By the way that the dirt has been flattened on the tent floor, it's clear that he's been here many times. This isn't his first trip through the Titans. Bald man will wipe his cheeks. Hey, it's a bit light.
I find that in my travels, the work of Prios does not necessarily meet with our desires and timing.
I thought the work of Prios is the desire for sunlight. It's been dark for some time.
Prios is a light, but light comes from fire, and as long as there is fire to burn, his light is in the world.
Well, how can I help you?
I am an advocate for a number of individuals who seek to be a part of your caravan. I was wondering, what is the means of gaining such position, and how many positions you have available?
Well, I take who I must, and truly what matters is the probability that we survive the pass, and then the probability that you'll be accepted into Yndaros.
I am of Yndaros. I'm one of the wealthier families of Yndaros, and the priest. And the 4 people that are by the fire are my charges. They will be accepted. As for the capabilities, one seems to have made the trip multiple times before. Another is familiar with the local terrain. One has already been acting as a guide for the other, who I do not know necessarily well, but is well kept. A man of means. And as for my own capabilities, I heal the ill and the wounded by Prios' grace.
And by his grace, there's no shortage of the ill to be healed and wounded. I'd accept you, even at the cost of leaving one behind. Now, to do so with the rest of my caravan guard, well, that'll spill over. Main agreement. Oisin, the weird one he wanted to spot. Told him if he could beat Cornell, was his. The rest of them,
your attaché, if they could do the same, they will sit. You need do no fighting.
I will fight for all of them. I will draw first blood from a champion of your choice, and once I have harmed him, I will heal him.
Quite certain of his skills.
I am a noble of
Right.
Yndaros, priest of Prios, and I am not unfamiliar with a knife fight. Have your guard have a dagger in hand. If he can't handle a dagger fight, he cannot handle the pass. If he needs a spear, he's a weak man.
Yes. Scratching at white stubble, cropping up like sparse vegetation you'd find in the barren lands that you're fleeing from. He contemplates. He's remembering this person, the guard Cornell, sizing you up compared to him before nodding. You don't know if it's out of entertainment or interest for his caravan, but he agrees with a smile.
Leave me then. As dawn comes,
But of course.
we'll see who I bring.
Prios watch over your sleep, and may he guard your way, always. Walks back out of the tent. Goes back to the fire. Adjusts things, takes a more humble posture. Get a good night's sleep. I have a fight in the morning.
All right. Are you, Maeve? Are you getting into the pile for warmth, or are you finding?
I have my bedding. Thank you, though.
All right.
I
guess
find-
it's just you and I, Karlio, or are you?
We have some supplies. We appreciate the offer. We do have some mild camping supplies.
All right.
And we'll basically set up
Drachna,
our
I
stuff
guess.
near the fire.
You and me.
Oh yeah, we're doing the back stuff.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah,
Yep.
ate all my
Alright, back.
ate all my preserves, warm, ready for it.
All right. Back to
We
back.
do eat the
Let's
preserves,
do
though.
this.
Damn, delicious.
Yeah.
As one does.
Go to bed.
Geshvilk, what do you do? Geshvilk is not accounted for here.
No, Geshvilk walks, waiting for all the people to be sleeping, snoozing, snoring. They have also cast the mystical power Unnoticeable. So with the Resolute test, basically they fade from one creature's perception. So even though this large man with a red beard is sleeping, Geshvilk wants to be safe, certain. As they go creeping upon them.
Okay. So you're undetected.
Oh, good.
You can smell. You can smell him before you can see him, honestly. He must have thrown up in a bush nearby. His tent isn't even properly fastened, and you can hear him snoring.
Does Geshvilk see any weapons in his tent?
Yeah. Yeah. A couple. It's actually a pair of swords and scale mail sitting on a rack.
Those are big, too big. No, I guess. Geshvilk doesn't want this to be messy. Geshvilk's going to strangle him. Because
Okay.
It's on.
Karlio needs a seat on this caravan. Safe way to travel.
Okay. I don't know if there are rules for strangulation, but what stat do you think you would use for that? There are rules for strangulation.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a
so
whole
Geshvilk
ability
actually
spread
has,
for it.
Yeah, has the ability Strangler. So
okay,
they get
so
to
you have
roll
the
with an
ability.
advantage. Yeah.
Pertinent. All right. Yeah. Let's go ahead.
There's a whole
it's a
asphyxiation
cunning-
skill set.
Yep. This is why I name all of my NPCs, because they kill the ones that I name. Every time.
Geshvilk is successful.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It helps that he was sleeping, already snoring. It's okay. Now he just dies in his sleep. And I could take a sword.
He's dead.
Me coin.
There's no money on him. Weapons and armor seem to be more valuable than him. But you can continue to search if you think you've got time for it.
When did Geshvilk eat last?
Geshvilk? I would ask you that question. It's been a while.
Hold on.
Geshvilk also has jam to go with this, so you know.
It's true.
It's true. Let me just roll a dice real quick.
This is Drachna approved.
When the character is so unstable that we're rolling dice rolls for decisions. Oh no, we're rolling for a stat. Okay. Fair.
No, but it was for a decision.
Okay.
Geshvilk's just gonna take a bite. Geshvilk needs flesh, needs meat.
Flesh?
I'll just fade that though.
Geshvilk is eating flesh. Geshvilk is eating
Yeah.
flesh?
But
There's a squelching.
an unnoticeable part. Perhaps the toe.
Okay.
And then Geshvilk will leave the tent with a sword. Content.
Single sword. Where do you go after that?
To sleep.
Okay. So we'll fade that scene to the morning. Talk of the camp. Immediately. Seems to feed curious minds. A little story about somebody who was slated to fight somebody and has been found dead. You're not confronted, but more than a few pairs of eyes make way to you, Maevryn, on this morning.
Send me another and I will fight them. My hands and
I
conscience
would
are
like-
clean.
I would like everyone to know that Maeve is not capable of killing someone in the middle of the night. I saw him in the middle of the night use the restroom, but he never left his camp for any significant amount of time. So I bear
buddy.
witness to Maeve's non-guiltiness.
Back buddy Drachna
Thank you, Ocean.
also contests. Yeah, that what Ocean says is true. Back buddy confirmed
Yeah,
that Maevryn in fact did not.
I
leave the
remember
tent.
waking you about it. Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about it.
I totally
Yeah, I was
count
like, there
denote
goes
the rumor that it's clearly the will of his god. It's clearly the will of his god that this person is fated to die because he could not have defeated him. So,
I'm glad we took care of that.
No one needs to die. And it's unfortunate
Yeah,
that
that
this
was-
individual, as drunk as he was, is dead.
That was sad.
May Prios welcome him into his embrace.
Or whatever god you're
He-
into.
No, he didn't. He didn't die of drunkenness. He was attacked. He would have done that. One of the caravan
Attacked by
guards
what?
And I,
is
oh,
I found blood.
Attacked. Okay, you found
well,
blood.
maybe I can
Would
look
you-
at some tracks or something. Maybe it's a wolf. A Jakar of some sort.
think there's a wolf?
Yeah,
I
we're
can
close
check.
to the spine. It could be anything. So, right, Maeve?
Yeah, we can tell pretty.
Wait. May I see the
What are you
body?
thinking, Maeve?
We are in the ruins of Empire. There could be worse things, and we might need to get this entire caravan on the move. Or at least
Oh,
everyone
yeah.
marshal instead of pointing fingers at one another and ready for whatever it is that may be hiding amongst us.
Yeah, I
There
fair
are
well
far
say you
worse
may.
things in this.
Melee, Perig. Show him the tent.
Go and take a look at the body. Try and get an idea of how he passed. Maybe see if a toe's
Anybody
missing.
coming? Is anybody coming with?
Oh, I'm
Yeah, let's
coming
hope this
with.
doesn't become a bloodbath.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we
I
all
was
want
gonna
to see
go
what's
with,
going
'cause
on.
This is very interesting.
It is the talk of the camp after all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm super
is-
interested.
Is Geshvilk nearby, or just kind of caught up with something else?
Oh, if Karlio goes to the tent, Geshvilk goes to the tent.
Okay. Geshvilk goes to the tent. Yeah, caravan guard Joven will take Perig and Melig to escort Maevryn to this tent. Melig and Perig were speaking to one another about the strange coincidence that Ocean and Maevryn were both caught up in a spat of sorts with guard Cornell, who is now dead. But as you arrive in the tent, he slaps open the tent flap, snaps his finger, and points. Look, blood.
There's more than blood when it comes to a murder. Especially out here.
Then
Let me see. And I didn't know we are dating. Would you like to give me some space?
Yeah, sure. Speaking of which,
I wasn't speaking to you,
who's-
Ocean. I was speaking to the guards.
Okay, yeah. Okay, then he'll step one step closer to Maeve.
the file out of frustration. Yeah. Gotta take a piss anyway.
Be careful where you piss.
Oh,
There
wait.
might be something about that wants to snap it off.
Aye.
Yeah, there's pray tell in Davokar, there's some lakes where when you piss, there's these small things which will swim up the stream, and cause some issues later down the road. So you know.
You are heard,
Cut off
and
the
there's
quiet.
not a
Let's-
response.
Let's
Yep.
look at this body or blood or something.
I would like to take a good look at this corpse and see if I can discern what happened to this poor man.
Okay. What would you like to do to that end?
I think this is a vigilant roll, even though that's not necessarily my best stat. That's what feels right. So let's give that an attempt. Right on the money. 9 and 9. So
There's dried blood.
where?
There seems to be just a couple of traces of it, like a smear, on the bedroll he was laying in.
Okay.
But looking up the shirt, a pant leg, an arm sleeve, there's no source of the blood.
This is where I'll bring a little bit of me in for Maevryn, and for storytelling. Yeah, being the son of a homicide detective. So, there's discoloration around the neck, I'm guessing? Given
There
the
would
time
be.
frame.
Yeah.
All right. And let's see here. Taking a look at the fingertips, seeing if there's any discoloration there. Probably not. Though the blood, if it's been as long as it has, I'm not an expert in this area of the world. Are there ants?
I think so. Yeah, maybe.
Fun fact, fire ants are attracted to blood, and if there is a trace, they will follow it.
Well, it's like the winter
Um,
season though, so you're probably not going to see a lot of ants here.
You see them even in winter, as long as it's not snow. If there's snow upon the ground, you will not see them, but if there isn't yet, they'll be out.
So I wanted to ask you, Maeve, now that we're almost alone, did you kill him?
No.
Okay. I'm not judging. I just wanted to make sure.
The only time I've killed a man has been in a duel, which brought me to Prius's church.
In Yndaros?
There are many amongst the nobility that like to talk. And the way of resolving things is not with more talk, it's with a blade. I shouldn't have won. But if I ever kill a man, I will be staring right at him, and he will be able to breathe my breath.
Well, if you ever want to kill me, don't look me in the eye. I prefer not to know if it's going to happen.
He actually smiles at that. It's good to know. And looks around, finds an ant. Huh. Well. So we have blood. It's from below. I'm fairly certain that somebody took a prize.
Well, what makes you say
I'm fairly
that?
certain our friend. I'm fairly certain that a bit of him. I'm not necessarily going to rifle through the entire body. the man rest in peace. Hopefully we can probably burn him. Hopefully there's enough tinder for it. But
Hey,
somebody
Drachna,
took something.
are you one of those witches? What is it? The white ones who see ghosts and spirits and things?
I hope to be, but since my exile from Karvost, I've lost connection with the things beyond the veil. Now I depend on my physical senses to get me through. Pretty good job of it.
What did you do to get kicked out of Karvosti?
It's
I
not
don't
really
think we
how
need
I
to
got
pry.
kicked out. Yeah,
If we get this, if we get these seats, I am going to pry each of you. That's not a right. I am going to ask or inquire. I'm not going to pry. Sorry, I misspoke.
I'm not very
I think-
pryable. It's not a list of traits that I keep in high regard.
Again,
let's keep
privacy
being
is
Karlio.
back
important.
buddies, and we can,
Yeah.
I'll share bit by bit with you.
Okay.
But I'm fairly certain this odious individual was strangled. Considering he was that drunk last night, he wouldn't have been able to struggle. The fact that there's a trophy been taken.
All fingers are pointing to you, Maeve. I mean, I believe you that you didn't kill him, but with our limited
This points to a
time, it
number of
sounds
different
like
things. No. It points to a number of things. One, there's a piece of this man missing. I'm almost certain of it. And we will find out when he is properly washed and prepared for funeral rite what piece is missing. But my concern is that we burn him immediately because actually I need to find someone.
Beasties.
No,
What'd you say?
I am actually quite concerned. Has anyone seen a black monk amongst those near the caravan?
Like with the robes and everything, looking very
Yes, one of the inquisitorial order, the black monks of the faith. They are more familiar with the implications that this is triggering in the back of my mind, but I can't put my finger on it. So has anyone seen one?
Well, not that I recall, but maybe we should wait in line for the open seats so we don't miss it.
I am more interested in finding a threat that could kill us all before we even get a part of the caravan, if this is what I'm thinking it is.
Yeah, that's fair.
Come out of the tent, and I'll gesture to one of the guards. You.
Yeah, yes.
Is there a black monk amongst those that are traveling with the caravan or being considered to travel with the caravan?
Bartolom.
Could you please fetch them immediately?
Yes. Of course.
You. Pointing to the other guard. How much spare wood do we have?
Eric scratches. It's not about how much I have spare, it's about how much we're going to have later.
No. Like, I do not want to threaten the caravan with expending what we need, but at the same time, if what I am suspecting is at play, we need to ritually cleanse and then immediately burn this body. There's a piece of him missing. And if a necromancer came in the night and did this, then there's no telling when he might just get back up.
Yes, well, fair. I can show you to the source.
Yes, but
It's a risk.
you that's the thing. I don't want to necessarily take risk with everyone's bloody life right now. If there's enough wood to spare,
Yes.
then we burn him. Otherwise, we need to get shovels, dig deep, bury deep, and possibly do some things that I will need that monk for. In the meantime, as distasteful as it is, could you find me some rope in case we can bind him temporarily?
Eric looks a little sad about that. There's a frown underneath that's ruffled, messy blonde hair. Aye. He
Thank
turns,
you.
just heads back in deeper to the camp.
Do we need
I
to
don't know how much
dig?
Geshvilk is hearing.
I mean, Geshvilk's standing right here next to Karlio, so wherever Karlio is at.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, everyone's hearing this.
Yeah, we just followed and watched. It was like, okay.
Yeah.
I will turn to O'Shea and Mo when they're done and be like, so what are the signs of a necromancer? Like, what are we looking for if someone happens to be this type of person?
Karlio's from Alberatori. You should see Dark Lord's necromancers. Dark evil stuff.
Oh, I know that. I'm discussing here. The ones I've seen would not be able to hide amongst this caravan. They would stand out like a sore thumb.
There are many
That would be
magics
easy
from
to spot.
there are many magics from beyond the mountains that can provide a glamour, a means of hiding from those that do not have the ritual or the sight. Not until it's too late.
Geshvilk can see shadows.
That is incredibly useful.
Mean Geshvilk look?
I wouldn't necessarily look like now, but I would look to the guards, see if any of them have something off about them. Because this would be a perfect opportunity. If this is a necromancer, they would be sizing people up. And by our discussions last night and how nothing was hidden, nothing needed to be, I would make an excellent scapegoat for this murder.
Ambrians don't look at goblins. Geshvilk will look. Geshvilk will see shadows. Karlio, you come with me?
If you wish. Then we should be able to about looking.
If there's necromancer about, I don't want you getting
Necromanced.
in trouble. Yes.
Very well.
No coin
Help
if
with
you go.
Geshvilk too. Very true. Head off with Karlio to look for necromancers. Karlio and Geshvilk off on the hunt for necromancy.
Okay. Were you just looking around in the camp? Is that correct?
Yep. Go find
All right.
necromancer.
Yeah. Caravan guard. It was either Maelig or Joven. I don't remember. I think Maelig came to find the Sun Priest. Yelling outside of a fairly nice tent. Androgynous, pucker face, dark hair, and fancy robes. It doesn't look to be of Prios, though. They bite back at this guard. No, you mistake me. This is insulting. Besides, I believe we are in trouble yet. They continue. You'll learn that this person, believed to be someone associated with the Church of the Sun, is actually a wizard of Ordo Magica. Their name is Bartolome, and they're not happy to be woken this early. They're especially not happy with the circumstances that have fallen upon them. But they won't elaborate to this guard, so they're asked to be left alone. Karlio, Geshvilk, you hear this. What do you do?
We'll wait until the guard wanders off, and I'll have Geshvilk do the Geshvilky thing, because, you know, being able to see a shadow, being able to tell. After that, I think we're going to go strike up a conversation.
Right. Slapping their hat free of lint and re-examining inventory in a panic. They have the tent clipped open so that it could air out, but the camp is starting to feel pretty busy as people are ready to mobilize. Cursed themselves.
Is there some sort of issue? I mean, when the guard had a rather loud tussle, he thought you were in the Prios church, apparently.
You come to me. Were you involved?
No, I was not. I just happened to have seen the body. They think a necromancer
Yes.
might be at work.
No, who said that?
The church, apparently.
If I believed that, and surely I don't, we have a great problem. You see.
You also seem to have your own problems. Not that I wish to pry, but you are a little rattled.
Someone... And they'll glare at Geshvilk. But just looks away. Someone's taken something. Vile intentions.
Do you think it could be the same person that killed the guard?
If necromancy... Well, if that was the postulate, I imagine it could be so. The Sun Church. They're here.
A missionary is here. He is helping us acquire spots in the caravan.
Tell him Bartolome will speak.
Of course, I'll let him know.
Have him meet me here.
I will make aware. Apparently there are matters afoot. Karlio will nod and raise an eyebrow to Geshvilk, and then head back towards our lovable thaumaturge / priest / best friend, and apparently former arena level knife fighter who killed a man.
That's the rumor mill.
No, that he said it. Like, that's not the like he admitted to killing another guy at a different time in front of all of us. That's a whole other situation. Did the guard beat us back, or did the guard just abandon his quest to find somebody after he didn't have another son? After there wasn't actually a individual that he could talk about with the.
The guard did melee beat the both of you back, but was probably sent on this quest to gather up some wood, which leaves the campfire of 5, essentially.
It seems that the mistake the guard made was that he was a wizard about, not a member of your church.
Oh,
Apparently he also had something stolen from him, and believes he wishes to meet with you. He believes
Oh,
if you are
dear.
correct about your assumption of a necromancer afoot, it could be very vile issues indeed. So
This
it
thing
seems
keeps
that we
getting
might
better.
have a suspect. Oh, why? How could it not keep getting better? Sun's out, the birds are singing. We're heading with Titans. What more could you want out of life?
I just wanted to knife fight someone and get this thing going. That's all I wanted to do today. That's
mean,
what I planned to
Your
do
blood.
today.
I will try to find a way to satiate your bloodlust. We will find a way for you to satiate your bloodlust.
I don't need to stab anyone today. That's what I.
That's all you wanted to do
I
today.
prepared
That's
myself.
all you wanted to do today. Okay. You had to prepare yourself to stab someone.
Yes,
What
I
happens if you're
haven't
jumped?
committed violence in quite some time.
Oh,
This is not what I expected
definitely in
upon
the
seeing
wrong
people
part of the
again for the
world.
first time in a very long time. Right
this is
right into a mystery.
You are
I'm
the
just
wrong
like
part
eating
of the world
honey.
not to expect to do violence.
Yeah, I'm just eating honey and stuff off the ground, you know, and just enjoying myself, right? Just watching it all happen.
Well, let's go and
I will take him.
talk to the wizard.
I will take our group back to speak with the wizard.
All right.
Love to see the wizard.
The wonderful wizard of.
Maevryn, does your appearance immediately inform a wizard of Ordo Magica of your standing?
Yes. Like,
Okay.
the red robes automatically denote he is of the church, he is of the symbol that he's wearing, and the necklace of citrine denotes that he is of the confessor's path and has money.
Yes. Fantastic. They'll recognize what is due to recognize. Men of Prius.
Yes.
Finally someone I can trust.
Okay, what's wrong?
Come, in the tent.
Okay.
Are they with you?
Yes, I was to be
You'll
fighting
point
for
to
them
this.
until the unfortunate murder.
Right. Yeah.
Geshvilk, stay outside.
Maybe.
What do you guys for?
Geshvilk, keep looking for shadows.
Very well.
Thank
I'll go
you.
with you. I hope I can help out, and I'll just, even though I can't really see, but it seems kind of dangerous, and I want a witch, so I follow along with Geshvilk.
Ocean, you join this meeting.
Yeah, why not? I'm his advocate, so it sounds right that I be with Maeve.
Tent flaps closed. They're tied at the midpoint. Tight. The wizard will sit on the floor. It's actually pretty small in here. They'll look up at you and they'll speak. I was robbed last night.
Right. Of what?
Every league, you'll see fewer and fewer trees. You know this to be true. The frost barrier. Suddenly there will be none. The only way to get up there safely and with more than half of our crew intact. The use of a sunstone.
How do you say it's missing?
Someone came in last night. Took it from me. Its existence is largely a secret, at least until we reach the slopes. For reasons such as this exactly. And now it's gone!
I have a question that I am not necessarily as educated as you are in this matter. But could something of that import be used for necromancy?
I don't believe
I'm
so.
going to chime in and say no.
Okay.
It's an artifact of great purity.
They stole it from this tent right here. Where was it? In your backpack or in your pocket?
I do have a question. Even though it might not be useful for necromancy, it would be beneficial for a necromancer to steal this, would it not? It would increase the
I think
deaths
it'd be
in the
beneficial
group.
for anyone.
These stones are incredibly valuable. Maevryn,
I don't mean
All
for
folk,
the
you'd
monetary
understand
value.
them.
I mean for the. I don't mean for the monetary value. I mean for the death it would cause inside the group. For the escalated body count that a necromancer would want.
frozen corpses at that. Prime observation.
Preserved.
Karlio. Yes.
Yeah, but for what
Okay.
purpose? Yeah. I don't know.
Any purpose. We're dealing with dark forces.
Well, no, I
One
mean,
does not try and find reason with them.
necromancers aren't that bad. They have a certain point of view, but some of them are as good as a man of the cloth. So,
Ocean, I wouldn't
Amazing.
necessarily go around spouting that in the camp or in the caravan.
it's
I don't think
Ambrians.
that's necessarily a prevailing opinion that is welcome.
In Ambria, sure, but you are refugees going into a new land. Maybe keep an open mind about certain things. Well, I guess it is unfortunate your lands were wrecked and ravaged by necromancers. Oh, it's just a quandary, right? But yeah, I know some sorcerers.
You see
who
how our
dealt with
opinions could
necromancy.
be. You see how our opinions could be less than thrilling about necromancers.
I also wouldn't necessarily say that you associate with sorcery.
Well,
That-
I
that is
associate
not something-
anyone who's kind enough to share fire and dinner and such. I'm none too picky.
Pack buddies.
All right, yes,
Yeah.
yes. This sunstone. Let's change topic and focus on that. I guess we could look for
Who knew
tracks. or
that you had
something.
the stone? Who amongst the caravan?
Those involved with the operation. Argosto, only a few guards.
I need the guards' names.
Quick, Ian. First name, last name.
Right.
Every guard.
We have caravan guard Aelig, Maelig, Cornell, Joven, and Perig. That's not including Bellin or Ludo, or Keller, or I forgot the last one because I'm terrible.
Well, there's
Less.
one less.
Yeah. It's getting easier over time. Fantastic for that, by the way.
Maybe we're not dealing with a necromancer, but a simple thief who double-crossed his compatriots.
I mean, that
Yes,
makes
but
more
to
sense.
take a trophy from
That could be the case.
a body. Could Cornell have been wanted?
That wouldn't surprise me.
Telk.
A rough man like that.
Telkin Keller.
This could... Talcon Keller? What about...
Argasto, he told me, Telkin Keller, they were nervous about the rations for firewood, you see. They refused to set any course on the expedition. They put ink to paper, and they told him he hadn't the mass to burn to make it over the pass. So Argasto had to tell them. I didn't even think of this.
We need to go to Argasto. We need to do a head count of the guard. See if anyone's missing. If there is anyone missing, that's our culprit.
Right.
Double dipping.
Yeah, and
Usually
just
money.
real
Adds up.
Yeah, real quick, well, as we head out, if everyone could just forget that I have friends with sorcerers, that'd be great. Let's just move on past that.
Let's just stop bringing it up, Ocean.
Well, I just wanted to be sure that people knew that we're not thinking about it anymore.
I keep
So
thinking about
later-
it because you keep bringing it up.
Well, I get nervous when these sort of things happen. And okay, let's Sunstone. Where are you? I'm gonna walk over here.
Undo the flaps and then just storm out of this tent before anything else gets said.
As is incredibly wise in the face of things not so. Where are we going? Where are we headed?
Straight to Argostos.
Okay, yeah.
So the thing that
Out
I'm
one
most
tent and
curious
into
about
another.
is what Gesvilk and Drachna have seen and just scanning the camp.
Yeah.
Honestly, this perspective is the most important thing now. That tree time earlier was. Anyway, I'm happy to go along with these new friends I've made. First ones in years.
Yay.
Aww.
Beautiful.
Back to back.
Just keep an eye on Geshvilk. So, Geshvilk,
Back buddies.
what have you been searching for while this was happening?
And I've been with them, so I'm just behind.
Yeah. I mean, Geshvilk is definitely making it look like they're looking at shadows, just scanning all of the guards, but they're looking for someone that I don't know isn't well liked. If there's a group of people, they're standing a little bit further back. A guard that isn't being talked to as much as other guards. Geshvilk's just watching.
Yeah.
I'm kind of taking in the process. Normally, I wouldn't be so kind of picky about it, but seeing an expert kind of go through and really interrogate people with the eyes is just kind of staying back
Yeah.
and learning.
The mission is pretty moot until eventually an undercut, well, I guess on both sides rather, shaved bald, except you have a receding hairline into a tight pony, brown hair, and an Ambrian beard. This guard is just sort of staring, eventually coming out of the tent. Maevryn, Oisin, they're headed to Argasto. Geshvilk, are you interrogating this guard as this is happening? Are you questioning this guard?
Geshvilk doesn't talk to Ambrians. But this guard leaves his tent.
Smart. Yeah.
How far away is he walking?
He's headed to Maevryn, so it's headed away, eventually vanishing along the bend of the tent. You enter that tent.
Drachna, that one has caught my sight. Can you go check on Karlio for me? I must check on something. Drachna is waiting to see if, or Gesvilk's waiting to see if Drachna goes away at first.
Yeah, Drachna, do you?
Yeah, if that's what's required, you know, I'll let you do your thing.
She's too nice.
Can you...
Zip on.
Too nice. You make sure he doesn't come back to the tent. I must check his scent, where his shadow lies.
I mean, I trust you. You didn't, you saw me. You didn't stab me, so it's got to count for something. You're probably not just a random murderer. Yeah.
Drachna, don't stab friends.
Oh. Well, that's heartwarming. I feel better now.
You share jam.
Yeah. I'll just go outside and eat some jam while you deal with this.
Okay. Geshvilk is going to go into the tent.
Okay. Geshvilk is in the tent. Drachna, you are eating jam in the campfire. Oisin, Maevryn, you head in to speak with Argosto. That leaves our lone ranger, our mysterious type. Where were you for this?
I went in the tent with the mage for the first part, but now he's kind of trailing back behind the two of them, watching it all play out rather than engaging with it directly.
Yeah.
So he's kind of trying to get a larger picture of the macro picture of what's going on in the camp and wondering who may have been involved with this conspiracy to steal this particularly powerful item, and if there is or is not actually a necromancer involved, and the church is just kind of throwing some fear-mongeriness out. So he's kind of taking it all in and kind of just doing the classic, like, walking the camp listening thing more than anything else right now.
A couple of like wagon carters speaking. You hear a muttering. You hear there. Telkin Keller might be involved. I heard one of them skip town a bit. Didn't hear from me though. And they sort of just kind of split off. You hear those names again. But we're all split up, so what I'm going to do is we're going to cut to a 10-minute break. And then when we get back, we will do some scenes and see if we can trail this thief. Figure out why Geshvilk did things that they didn't do. Stick around. Be back in 10 minutes. Oh, wait. Wait. And we are back. So where we left off, party was split across this camp. Somebody has been murdered. We don't know who that was. And a sunstone is missing, and we don't know who did that. So, probably the place to take this right now is Argosto's tent. Maevryn, Ocean. What's the play here?
The play is I hope the mage followed us, because
Bartolome did.
and just go. The play is, hi. So things are even worse than you thought, and we need a head count of your guards. That's the play.
No.
Yeah, sorry for being a bearer of bad news.
Well,
so a man is dead. Somebody took a piece of him. We don't know why. And the sunstone's missing. So my question to you is, has anyone gone missing aside from the deceased?
Well, from this morning, I couldn't say. Many would be fetching pails, tending mules, chopping wood. Should be 15.
Well, need to do a head count. Also, forgiveness is always possible in the light of Prios. But once one treads the path of poor choices, it is easy to relapse. Is there someone with a history?
Sorry about that.
Bless you.
Did you want... Yeah, thank you.
Is there someone with a history that they're not necessarily proud of, a part of your guards?
Oh. I don't claim to know my gods. Many of them I'll never see again. But I hear, the mule boys. They might have mixed in with some, of the bad folk.
Right. And who are these little boys?
I haven't a name.
Okay. Well,
Can you describe them? Where are they now?
He'll stride out and just palm open the tent, point over, like really up on a hill. You'll see a couple of trails. Obviously, there would be mules up and down over there, but importantly, Karlio, are you nearby?
I could be wandering around wherever the story needs me.
Yeah. Well, you've been following a plot here, and it seems like the guards were speaking. Trying to get a head count. They weren't good at this. You did hear from those people, though, that a Telk and a Keller, two of the younger people coming over in an attempt, a bid to get to Yndaros, Allegedly, one of them's gone missing, but they don't know which one. That's just what they've heard.
Very well. I will look up at our lovely duo that are talking with there. How goes it? Have you found any information about the guards?
Apparently, the quote-unquote mule boys may have a history of criminality.
Are the mule boys Telk and Keller, two of the younger ones? One of them seems to have rumoredly gone missing.
Well,
We have to
isn't
find
that
him then, right?
convenient?
I hope he's not hurt. That would.
Less convenient, more probable.
Well, let's try and find the one that's still here. Maybe they know where their friend went off to.
I assume they're not in the camp proper?
If one's missing, they've probably already fled with the stone, probably getting as far away as they can. Though I have no idea where in this blighted world they would run off to. But perhaps their fellow mule boy might know.
Very well. Do we wish to grab the other two before we head out looking for them?
Oh, yeah.
That's probably wise in case this is more than just thievery and petty murder.
It could be complicated murder. That's always the worst type.
You are correct.
So we will cut over to their scene as we head towards the camp lurking around for them.
I'm still outside, just perched out, you know, the same thing, just focused on food, kind of blissfully unaware of what's going on, you know, in the grand
Jamming
world
out.
still. Yes, jamming out with
Yeah.
a sort of naivete about people.
Yeah. Geshvilk, there's stuff to steal in here, if that's what you're after. Otherwise, there's not a lot in this tent. It's the one you're rummaging through.
Geshvilk doesn't want to steal anything. Geshvilk wants to leave something. From beneath like the folds, Geshvilk wears many layers of clothing, just kind of all torn up, gathered from various places and bodies. But they will pull a sword out of the folds of their cloak and it's just going to like tuck it away in the corner, and then leave.
Okay. All right. Well, you come out. You're not taking anything. Chewing tobacco.
No.
A few
Well-
shillings. Okay. Yeah.
You already done, Geshvilk? You know, was that okay? Are you all right?
Something not right about that man, that Ambrian.
I understand. I
We
trust
keep an
you.
eye on him.
Okay, noted. And then I kind of write down his name in my my curse log.
Oh man.
Geshvilk and Drachna go tell Maevryn.
Yeah, I mean they're coming right this way, and I start waving.
They sure are. Geshvilk, you feel probably a weight lifted in this time. You were in hot water for a while. These people were very clever, and they were only about a step behind you. For some reason, you feel like you've made enough friends, and being told you were trusted, fortune might favor Geshvilk this day. We have reached our retweet goal, which means everybody has a fortune effect in that a death test will be rolled with advantage, making it exponentially harder to die from, which is good for you. The Campfire 5 might live on. Karlio, you have a sort of a lead. What do you do? Muted. Oh no.
I'm going to speak into the ether and no one can hear me. And then, once they can hear me, I am going to nod to Geshvilk and the local witch as we approach, and let them know that it seems the plot may have thickened. We should probably head towards the mule paths, and after we're there, I have some things to relay. Because I don't want to relay it in the middle of town, because as we know, the moment we say something in the middle of the camp, there are rumors. That's how rumors work. So, we will head out. Does the wizard come with us? Do we now have a wizard that we have to keep track of? Or does the wizard stay?
If you're requesting the presence of the wizard, they will join you. Otherwise, they're not seeking out to confront a thief.
I'm leaving that to the church guy, because I'm not going to be responsible for some rando wizard that I don't know.
Church guy.
Exactly.
As to Bartolo's dispensation, I think it best he stay with the caravan master in case more dire things are afoot than petty thievery and maybe a settling of an old debt. In case Maevryn's first just wild suspicion is correct and there are necromancers afoot, there should be a wizard near the caravan master and not wandering with these chuckle fucks.
Logically. Oh, of course.
Love that. Okay, so, yeah, well, asking just about anybody. We'll say if you're asking for where to find these people, one of the guards will make it Aelig for the sake of irony, who had already left his tent before Geshvilk stepped in. Point you. You keep the mules up there. Yep.
Thank you.
Telkin Keller.
Just leave Smelly McGuard be and head up the mule path.
Yeah.
Once they're out of earshot of him, Geshvilk will shuffle quickly up to Maevryn's side, but a slight step behind. That one we left, he had a strange shadow.
Good to know. Thank you.
Geshvilk, look. Geshvilk, find.
To catch our two compatriots up on things, apparently the wizard is missing a sunstone. It may or may not have been stolen by the mule boys, Kelpin Teller, one of which is missing. Nobody seems to figure out which one, if not both of them. So this looks like a bringing them back situation, unless you disagree. Cleric, father, what title do you prefer?
Just priest.
Priest?
I am not a father yet. I haven't completed my trials.
Okay.
And he has no children.
Priest.
Yes, Geshvilk. Yes.
I don't pretend to know his lineage or what he has done in the past, other than the things he has revealed to us that he has killed.
Unfortunately. But hopefully we can find this and find the party responsible quickly, get the sunstone, and things can be resolved.
Let us hope.
Does Karlio want the sunstone?
We need the Sunstone to travel. I don't personally need the Sunstone, Geshvilk, but thank you for asking.
I mean, I'm good at finding things, and I have no need for it, so I'll just... You all seem to have a need for it, so I'll just, come with you and try to help you find it.
That
Sounds
is
good.
appreciated.
Yeah, I'm in.
I
Fantastic.
feel much safer with my back buddy.
Exactly. Yeah, you get it. Yeah, I think good stuff in our future. Yeah.
I assume we wish to bring them back alive. Correct, priest?
Yes. Yes. No need for violence unless that is the only other resort.
I assume you're just going to threaten violence then. They're thieves. They're not going to just go, I would like to come back to receive my punishment.
I find that oftentimes if you offer something unexpected, like unforgiveness, understanding, a chance to tell their story, people sometimes will take that olive branch and actually surprise you as well.
I looked at Geshvilk very briefly and cock an eyebrow, and then look back to you and go, you live in interesting lands.
Oh.
To Karlio, Geshvilk will kind of fall back to be at pace with them. If we bring them back, will they take our spot on the caravan?
No. More than likely, the caravan owner will have them executed for thievery.
Geshvilk is okay with this.
It's just interesting. But I believe we are hunting Geshvilk. But I believe our dear Drachna has said she will lead the... You are a tracker in this matter, then?
Karlio wants
I
us
am.
to hunt. We shall hunt.
And I'll provide
We hunt.
food and water, and I mean, you explain the situation so well. I mean, I really have no stake, but I really feel like I can assist, keep everybody, alive at least on the path, away from danger, as much as possible, around these parts anyway.
That's good. Yeah, because if violence breaks out, I'm not going to be useful at all. But I can help.
No, I understand.
There.
Oh, I'm
So
great in
Karlio,
scrap,
like,
but I haven't fought in quite a long time.
so as they leave the camp, Karlio fuddles around under his cloak and starts to assemble a thing, and then bends, and you suddenly realize he has a longbow, and shifts a set of quiver down to a quiver down to his waist, so the arrows are easily accessible because we are now left civilization, for lack of a better term.
Right. Okay. Yeah, so up a hill, it's really not all too far away. You're leading the way, is that?
No, it's not.
Is that correct, Drachna?
That's true.
Okay. There is a dilapidated barn. It used to sit atop this hill so it could overlook a farm. Well, this land is, in its own way, pretty blight-stricken. Maybe a lack of proper farmers, maybe soil that has been dried up. For what it's worth, barely anything can be harvested from here. They've been using it for mules. You don't see the boys as you look about, but you haven't explored the barn. What do you do?
I tell the others that there's a key point of interest around the barn, but something seems a little off about it. It just feels that way. So
Indeed, with caution.
Yeah.
Just sort of
Key question.
quietly move in.
Is the barn 1 story, 2 stories, and is it dilapidated and ill-used, or is it patched up and looks like it's well-maintained?
no, I mean, it's definitely
Ill-used.
worn down.
Yeah.
Is it a single
medium-sized,
story,
like
or is it like a 2
2-4s?
or 3 story bars?
Yeah.
It's a 2-story barn. You'll have a ramp up.
Yeah.
Drachna, do you enter first?
Yeah, I mean, I'd still like to enter first. Before I hop in, I'm going to use the first usage of this, and hopefully maybe appear less threatening if there is something of ill repute inside, and I would like to shapeshift into a wolf. I'm gonna start dancing, and with some of the berry preserves and some forest detritus that I have, create basically a little like mortar and pestle elixir, rub it along my temples, and then just transform into a small wolf, and then just kind of try to peek inside with my little nose and try to
Okay.
sniff out.
Gang, are we letting... We're letting her just kind of... Like just kind of trot on in there.
Just sneak along.
Karlio will pull up
sneak
a
in.
Karlio will pull up a face mask, crouch down, and then start heading up the ramp to be able to overlook Drachna as she heads into the barn.
Hear the sound of a rope rustling? Upstairs. Aye. Dropping down, moving halfway down the stairs and then dropping to the soft dirt in a corner along the L-shaped barn, we'll say, and stepping on soft hay. A young man, he's gathering a rope to try to grab this wolf. He's obviously, I mean, he could be as hungry as the rest of you, but he's attempting to catch this thing. What do you do?
I'm going to... would I be able to use, I guess, vigilance to spot this this potentially hungry person, or cunning to get away from it?
You don't see it, so let's do vigilance.
Okay.
Let's definitely do vigilance.
All right, and that'll be a 9. Right
Okay.
under. So.
Right under.
Yeah, diffuses this 1.
Yeah, I think it's okay. Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
You absolutely
All right.
spot him in time. What do you do? You just see like
I'm gonna
corner of
spot
your
out.
eye, someone's ready to.
Yeah,
Yep.
anything could happen, so I just start howling, and try to like scratch or kick back on the door to try and get it open at least a little bit. So while I'm wolf screaming.
That's very cute. I love that. On initiative of 13 would be Maevryn, then Geshvilk at 11. You may act before. You're probably right in
I'm
that.
holding.
Right.
No, I'm 12, and I'm waiting to see if he's trying to capture the wolf and not kill the wolf. This is a
Yeah.
really easy to defuse situation.
Exactly.
My quick 13, so I can hop on out. So
Mm-hmm. You found one.
I have a series of questions. One, did we see Drachna transform before going into the barn?
totally, yes, right in front of
Yeah.
everybody. Just
Okay, so
conversations about it.
that's new and somewhat upsetting. Fun.
You're accepting of the
and-
priesthood, but the priesthood isn't accepting of you.
Sorry, I have seen wondrous things. Person turn into wolf, that's a new one.
It's a bad one.
Like
One just to me.
flaming sword, yeah, seen that one. But person to wolf, new.
Oh, so murder's okay,
Uh,
but connecting with nature is not. Got it. No, I'll keep it in mind. Priest, father, cleric.
That there are tiers and we're getting into some, Black Cauldron Disney esque strangeness here, which is beyond just the standard inquisitorial strangeness. So that takes Maevryn for some pause, and then 2 beats after this transformation, there is now howling.
Yes.
So I'm going to use a tool I have. It's called a happy sad die. And I'm going to try and discern what it is that Maevryn does. Okay, it's the happy face. So we will respond with haste and just burst into the barn.
Yeah. You see, young man, dirty blonde hair, is just headed along the L-shaped barn to where your friend would be out of line of sight. Visible?
And just- And Maevryn will just point at him. You!
Hey. Oh! Oh! Ah! You scared me! Oh, get down. Get down. And just it's
Yeah,
like
and I think you were
ushering
talking to me, and I thought you were talking to me, so I'm standing on my hind legs, like, so you're like, you? I'm like, yeah? What can I help you?
Just everyone stop. And now seeing the wolf on hind legs, you stop and you stop.
I get back and I get back on all fours and I look, straight faced.
Men of the Church of the Sun, you can control animals.
Not quite.
Yes, quite. No. I mean it. Try that again.
Yeah, that's really cool. I didn't know my...
From up in the rafters, when someone asks if you can control animals, Father, you say yes.
I'll
Father,
try and remember that for
forgive me,
next
priest.
time.
Good sideshow attraction.
Someone is missing.
Yeah. Yes.
So you
Here
know.
for Keller.
Yes. Something very important was made off with in the night on top of a murder.
Murder?
Do you know where Keller is? Yes.
You're suggesting he killed a man. Divine light. No. He made off for a tower not far from here. Yeah. Surely if he killed someone. Suddenly Telk seems very nervous in this cold barn.
Whatever you know will help. We're not entirely certain that he's the culprit, but if he is tied up in this,
Right.
there's something very dire at hand. We need to know where we can find him. We need to get the stone back. And if he's caught up in something as dark as it seems, he's going to need help.
He told me of the Sunstone. He told me if I said a word, he'd split my tongue, and I seek the north to become a singer. I can show you where to go.
That would be most helpful.
Yes.
And I think you should come with us, but also we should go and see the caravan master to let him know about the delay. Let him know that you have nothing to do with this, but you can lead us to where we need to go.
Yes.
I believe expedience might be called for, priest. Getting the Sunstone and returning with the loyal servant is probably a better look than so many back and forth trips. Time is of the essence. The farther the boy gets away, the harder he will be to track.
Yeah, you are probably right. Let us make haste forthwith.
Drachna, I believe we are still hunting, and you are still our guide on this matter. But the boy can, what's the term, move ahead and at least take us in a general direction?
Right, yes, there's a path. Surely he took it. There's an old watermill here. It's not far. I wish not to confront him. If that's okay.
We won't let him rip your
Yes.
tongue from your mouth.
Yeah, and I growl. I
Thank
just
you.
growl right at him. And then I make a
Oh.
happy bark. No, then I make a happy bark, and then I growl again, and go back to happy, and then I just walk out. I almost seem to be like smiling, you know.
Yes. The creatures you command. Will you use them to kill Keller?
I do not want anyone to die. Not any more than those who have passed this day. There's already been too much death.
That's all I need to know.
The man of the cloth is not much of a killer. It is not his way.
Okay. Yes. Right. Come now. Gather the party and head over. It's gonna take a while. We have more than an hour, but of course, less than 5 hours worth of traveling. Is there anything we do while we travel that takes time and that you can do while moving?
Geshvilk needs to ask Karlio a question.
It's fine. Geshvilk will get with Drachna or Karlio will get with Drachna and Geshvilk to make sure they keep eyes open because he has faith that the two of them can spot things. Because we also have the priest, who we like, and is a nice guy, but is not on the observant train sometimes. And, well, I'm a little weirded out by our other partner who likes to cuddle with necromancers.
That's fine. Geshvilk has their eyes on their new traveling companion. I thought you said they'd both be executed. It sounds like this one's coming back.
Probably. The priest will make a play to keep him alive. He admitted to knowing of the plot and doing nothing about it out of fear. It depends on how merciful the caravan operator is. I assume they'll both be executed. I could be wrong. At least in my lands, that will happen.
But that might mean one less seat for you.
Oh, we will make sure that we both have seats. I'm not too worried about that.
Geshvilk can make sure we have seats.
I will let you know if that is necessary, Gusful. I appreciate you looking out.
Yeah. Geshvilk is watching
well.
this young man with very intense eyes.
Yeah. The young man Telk will not return a glance at all, out of fear, but instead a fixation on Drachna, who seemingly is a baby warg, to a sun priest or something. The world doesn't make sense to Telk, and that's okay. You come upon an opening, though. Further off, you see a watermill. And for it, you know there would be water nearby as the wheel is turning. It's still many, many paces away, though, but there is a dirt trail, so you know that it was frequented once upon a time. This small traveling group stops. Telk. Right ahead. Telk sort of points. He must have made off for that. This is where he said his old friends used to meet. It was implied that there were unsavory types.
How many of his old friends do you know of?
Only met one once. Said they had a falling out.
Fair enough. Karlio will start to circle around the outside of the place, not taking the path. Just to keep an eye on it to see if you can see anything.
As is wise. What about the rest of you? What do you do?
I'm going to just walk forward on the path. Throw the cloak back again, stand taller. Maybe this young man has some faith in, or at least superstition enough not to try and kill a priest.
So, in the middle of that thought, a great thought it was, a trap is sprung. You step directly on what looks to be like a wide bear trap. It's weak, but these things really just need to snag a bear. It's not on a chain, though, so it wouldn't work the same way. It was designed to protect, and it made a loud snap. I want a test from you. Let's do... I imagine it's... Vigilant?
Quickness to avoid it? Oh, vigilant.
Yeah, well, yeah, it'll be a vigilant -3. We'll see if you just notice it and manage to pick your leg up before the mechanism kicks in. It's just a -3.
Not -3. No, I just fail. That was a 7 versus a 9. Nope. And my 9
No, that was a
-3
1.
would be a 6. It was a 1? It looked
Yeah, it
like a
was a
7. Okay, I make it.
Okay, I was like, what? You failed a 1? Okay, I was like, I thought I knew the game, but yeah, no. Pick your leg up.
Okay.
What do you do?
Stifle cursing, and then just look up since you said it made a loud noise.
It did.
Hello? I'm Maevryn of Yndaros, a priest of Prios.
There's a hole.
There's something that has gone missing.
In the roof of the tower, there is a hole. Out sticks a head. You're looking for the sunstone.
Yes.
Not another step, please. I don't wish you any harm.
I don't wish you any harm. I'm afraid that's incorrect. It doesn't belong to you.
The crossbow's sort of hoisted up into the hole in the roof. I'm afraid it is. Please.
You would fire upon a priest of Prios in a damned land
You
after
hear the click, click,
killing
click,
a
click,
man.
click, click.
I'm saying loudly, after killing a man in his sleep and making off with a sunstone. You don't think your soul is damned enough?
I killed no man.
A man
I
was
issue
killed.
warnings.
A bit of him is missing. And so is the sunstone. And the only one missing from camp is you.
So you would frame me too.
I am in no mood to frame, but if you wish to actually defend yourself, redeem yourself, you need to come back now.
So because you win vigilant, you will get to act first. The head tilts in, implying an aim is being made towards you. We have initiative set. Drachna, Maven, you will act. There's certainly somebody on the top of that tower, but beyond that big open forest clearing, what do you do?
So if Maevryn's, sprung here, kind of said I was walking out, but upon hearing the commotion, I'd like to go in and start, biting some people, right?
Would you bite a toe off? That's my question.
Who's the toe eater? Who would be the nearest person to bite? Would I be in range?
It's gonna take a couple of movements to get at least a couple of movements to get to Keller, who is up in that tower. Alternatively, you can try to hide, try to backtrack. I don't know. What are you thinking?
I will chase ferociously as a wolf, and I will spend those couple movements in the hopes that somebody else either helps in the chase or has another plan.
Very well. Okay. All right. That gets you. Fortunately, that gets you out of line of sight. That gets you all the way to the base of the tower. You still just have to figure out how to worm your way in there. Maevryn, at 13 vigilance, what do you do?
He makes off for a sprint to the tower, and as he sprints, he is going to cry out, "You are making a choice now. And that choice is not just your life, but your soul. Choose wisely, please." And he's just full out sprinting for the tower.
All right. Getting over the bridge. Making your way over. Yeah. He'll shoot at you, but misses because you do full on sprint. Karlio. You might not have even been perceived during all of this.
I did send you a thing about when the priest's back is turned. I don't know if you saw that. I cannot hear what you're saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wherever you need to do that, so it's optimal for the timeline. Are you doing it now or waiting?
I already rolled for it because they just stay until I use them.
Got it.
So after he takes a shot at the priest, I will go ahead and return a shot, and we'll see how that goes. So I need to roll
Perfect.
15 or less. Let's see if I can roll this dice or not.
Mm-hmm.
Or not. Apparently I'm not allowed to roll dice. I roll it on my character sheet because I know it works there. That's a 2, so that's definitely gonna hit.
Dang.
Do I have advantage from being unperceived, being not perceived?
No.
Okay. Figured I would ask.
Yep.
Didn't know if he exposed himself to me while leaning out trying to shoot at the priest hanging out the area.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But I mean, yeah, two definitely hits.
so 5, and then a second arrow very quickly follows. There's no roll; it's a free action for 7 damage total.
Okay. He falls out of line of sight with a scream. Ah! You hear like a thud, hitting squeaky, hollow wood floor. That usually makes up the foundation of like the higher levels.
Mm-hmm. And then I will circle
Gesh.
around with my movement to the continuing to circle around the area.
Geshvilk.
As long as it seems like Karlio is safe where he is at, Gesvilk is going to run to the tower. Actually, what's the other guy doing? Sorry. Just remembered him.
Not entering the clearing at all, just standing there. Trying not to be seen for the most part.
He doesn't look like he's going to engage at all.
No. The boy? No.
Okay. Like one last glance at them before, Geshvilk will run towards the tower.
All right. Okay. Keller finally will make its way up to the top, and he will be able to get a shot at you, Geshvilk. I need you to roll a defense twice and take the worst, because Keller has the high ground.
Advantage is +2, actually, not a second roll.
Oh, my bad. Yep. So, add, yeah.
In this case, it's +2 to its hit, so it would be -2 in this particular case. Yeah.
Sorry, I
know
have
what
to
you
bring my
get.
sheet back up. 1 second. Let's see here. This is my thing. Making sure. Do I have my? Sorry. Oh, nope. Either way, we'll just go for that, and it's a failure.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna take. You have armor? You don't have armor?
Armor's
Okay.
expensive. No.
Take 5 points of damage as a bolt is launched into you. What's your pain threshold?
Yeah, I was just about to say, that exceeds my pain threshold.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna get another one then. I believe that Keller gets a free attack here. So let's do another defense test. Or actually, no, don't. No, falling prone makes more sense. It was a bolt. You're just gonna fall prone. You've been hit and you will go a tumbling.
Can I fall into the river?
Yes. Mother, may I? Yes.
So this
Oh,
bolt
the
just
water
like
that
as
cleanses.
Geshvilk's trying to run across the bridge, just like full on takes them, and they like are so surprised by the shock of the bolt that they just tumble off the bridge into that fast moving water.
Fantastic. That's your warning. All right, and then Ocean, if you are there, it is your turn. Calling from the void. Otherwise, we will hold an action for you to do your bestial things. Drachna at the top.
Mm-hmm.
You're about a movement away. The problem is, I don't know if wolves know how ladders work. And it's ladders to get up there to the top.
And wouldn't be able to do any of that, circus climbing and or wall jumping.
I think it would be easier for a wolf to try to just use a ladder.
Exactly, no.
What's the plan? I mean, you can howl.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll just sit there. Like I don't. I guess there's nothing to do except guard. So that's what I'll be up to.
Anything you would say to Maevryn, who is almost certainly going to move past you and up this ladder, or at least into this room?
I mean, it's just be careful. He's got arrows locked right on you. Could really fire you.
Maevryn.
Maevryn's not going in. He's going to jump in the river and try and get Geshvilk out.
It's way better usage.
He cares.
Well, that's sweet as fuck. Okay. Yeah, the river is biting cold. I mean, brutal. Like, take it away. What do you do here? Because it's successful.
Yeah, it's just as soon as hearing the plop and then turning and seeing that someone's fallen in, it's just immediately like unclasps the cloak and then immediately just jumps in. Grabs hold of whatever body is there and then just gets to the edge of the river and just sits there with whomever is in his hands because he doesn't care. There's just obviously someone fell, life's at risk, go save the person.
That's what heroes do. This is interesting, because Karlio, you're in a weird line of sight. The opening to the tower is on the other side of where you are, so mutually there's no line of sight here. What do you do?
Is there a door on this side of the tower, or is it all ladder?
It's all ladder. Well, the ladder's on the inside of the tower, so you just go in and go up.
I'd actually go in to see if I could see anybody up there.
Yeah, you don't see, but you hear him, sort of calling out, "Hey, please, just let me have this."
I free action no test hit him with storm arrow, and then hide under the overhang, so he has to like lean and give away his position and open himself up to take a shot.
All right, so you have damage for that one?
Yep, just straight free d6. 5 more. I don't know how his pain threshold is or what it is. It's probably higher than our player character knows.
You can ask him. He's plummeted off the 3rd story of the tower and fallen at your feet, crashing. His body.
You can ask him.
Yeah, you can hear the shatter of like a rib as his body like hits the steel turning mechanism that runs this water mill. Bottom of the double set of ladder.
Did I see him shoot Gesvilk? This is a very important question.
That's a great question.
That is incredibly important to my next action.
I don't think you did.
Okay.
There's a wolf there too, just for good measure.
I mean, the wolf is whatever. I needed to be very clear if I had or had not seen him shoot Gesvilk, because it determines what my action is.
I catch your meaning, and you didn't. You heard shots fired, but you didn't know Gesvilk yet.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do? Okay. Well, actually, I guess that's your turn.
That is my turn.
Geshvilk, you've been saved from a river that's much deeper to you than it is to Maevryn.
It's cold water.
Very cold.
Gesvilk is like eyes wide, just like that stringy hair just stuck to their face, staring up at Maevryn in complete surprise. Sunman save Geshvilk? And they just don't know what to say other than that.
Do we move anywhere? Do we have anything to do?
Well, they are freezing and trembling, but
Fair.
Yeah, I guess after that moment of just like total awe and surprise, they will look around for Karlio because they need to make sure that he stays safe.
Mm-hmm.
And will scramble out of Maevryn's arms. If they can.
Yeah, your turn will be able. We'll get you to Karlio.
I was going to say because Drachna is there. There are arrows floating around Karlio, like that kind of like cylinder shape. There's just 3 arrows that kind of float around him at this point in time as he's standing there with a bow. That's important.
That is very important.
That is. Oh.
Let's. Okay. All right. So, Karlio. Yep. Geshvilk. Drachna. You are all reunited.
Yay.
Now, I wanted to ask. Let me pull Drachna over there. We'll take a second to interlude because Keller is not moving. Might be alive. Maevryn, you are not at the base of this tower. You're the only person that's not. What do you do?
Adrenaline's pumping. So
Absolutely.
He's just going, okay, I don't know if Geshvilk is okay, just that I got them out of the water and then they scurried away. So at least they're good enough to scurry. That has been confirmed. Just heads on a swivel, like looking around, seeing if anyone else is hurt that he can see, and then is going to just, I guess, try and rush off, but probably only making half the movement because he's taking that time to look. So with like half, maybe even a quarter of the move, try and go in the direction Geshvilk went.
Yeah, I think you can decide if you manage to make it all the way into that.
I don't think I
Mill,
do.
or
I
if
think
you-
there's just one more beat before he turns that corner.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So while that's happening, Maevryn, then for that you do see something off in the distance. You know that behind you, someone's stayed back essentially to help make sure Telk's okay. Make sure Telk isn't going to try to like sabotage anybody. Beyond that, forward, there seems to be rustling branches. The underbrush is a bit lively. Briefly, Karlio, what do you do with this person that has fallen?
I have actually. I look at him and ask where the stone is. If it's still conscious, if not, then I, check for a pulse. I guess.
There seems to be one.
I will also
Geshvilk?
snatch the. I will actually take the arrows out of the air and put them back in my quiver as well. Well, I'm raining 3 arrows.
Pretty badass. Geshvilk, what do you do?
Geshvilk sort of limps over to Karlio, and is just watching, just to take their lead. But they do glance back to make sure that Maevryn's all right and coming.
There is a look of concern when Geshvilk is limping up. Just kind of annoyance, like that like I'm not. No, we're gonna let go right now. We're gonna like.
Yeah, since Geshvilk's clothes are completely soaked and already dark in color, and they were stained anyways, and with holes, it's hard to tell if there's like an injury there or not, because they always look this way. It's just different because now they're
But you are
drenched
limping.
and limping. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's very much like. But yeah, after that, it's basically checking for the stone.
Yeah. You do manage to find it, but before I can even give you a description, you're feeling in the pocket. Maevryn, go ahead.
Just rushes around the corner. We've got company. 7 figures in the brush. Don't know friend or foe. It looks down at the at Keller. You fool, and just kicks his side. Not fiercely, not enough to like break a rib, but just like in annoyance.
Right.
You should probably hide.
Which brush? Where?
Far side, just behind. South. Following along the river.
Geshvilk will look in the direction that Maevryn has described. Their eyes, again, going that black color, veins spidering across their face, trying to see what their shadow looks like.
There's a particularly dark, twisted shadow, umbral, in the middle, flanked by men and women on either side. Carries a hood. Stepping out into the clearing 7 people, all armed. The one in the center speaks. Right. Who has this stone? You can't make out a face from the cloak, but what do you do?
Geshvilk will take a half step back. We need to run. We need to go now. That black shadow, dark shadow.
Great, necromancy, corruption, fantastic.
We leave this body here. We go.
Agreed.
Then they look to Karlio to make sure that they agree that we can't stay here. We need to go now.
Does he manage to get? Is the stone on this person or no? You didn't give me a description.
Yeah.
Description of what's happening.
Right. Yeah. So you managed to pull the stone. Just trying to check. Yeah. I mean, roughly, it will fit in the palm of your hand. It's. You have a feeling it's not what it should be that you're holding it. Presumably, a mage would use it, and it's generating a warmth. It's kind of like a battery, and it is rather heavy. It's the weight of a stone.
Okay.
Let's run.
And then get the duck out of fudge.
Yeah, so the doorway out of the tower faces them. They will see you if you attempt to get out of here.
Is there a side window?
There's a hole in the top that we can leap out into the river. Because that's how we shot down this.
And the river's fast.
Mm-hmm.
We broke our GM.
I want to jump off that building into, and this is true, the ice cold water. If we're trying to do that, absolutely. It's really a question of if Maevryn's going to go through with it.
I also can't.
Gesvilk,
I can't even climb, so I have to. Well, I have to, turn back into a person, or is that fine?
Oh yeah, you're
how
a
large?
puppy.
How heavy are you? Yeah, poor little Drachna.
We can boost.
As a-
I feel like we
as
can
a
boost
wolf?
the dog up as the three of us.
Yeah, are you trying to scamper?
With some assistance, I believe I would be able to, and jumping off in this form would be a lot more secure.
Be pretty easy, actually. Just leap.
Yeah,
It's true.
that's the current idea.
All right. So, Maevryn, you're presented with a choice, I guess. Jump off the building into the river. Try to face this strange voice calling out.
That if it's a binary choice, I have a feeling that there's jumping in Maevryn's future as much as that is not what he's a fan of.
All right. Your wolf.
Yeah, currently your wolf. It's true, Maevryn.
Let's just try and go.
All right. Wolf ladder. Hard idea. Who's gonna try to jump off of this thing first? All right, don't all jump at once.
Yeah, I'll take it
I mean,
first.
I'll jump first if nobody else seems
Yeah, I'll
going.
take-
I assume
yeah.
the wolf was going to
I-
jump first because they
I
were
would
secure.
like
We're
to-
going to cover some distance.
Yeah.
I would like a beat to just get a moment to heal Geshvilk before we all jump into the
Sure.
river.
You can get on
Yeah,
that while I jump
so-
off.
While you're doing that,
So let me-
Karlio, you see rope at the top of this tower.
Oh, okay.
Might help
But we
for
can
the
just
wolf thing.
scurry down the side of rather than jump down the river? Sure. Like,
Yeah.
oh, there's rope. And I kind of look to...
Excellent jump.
Yeah, I kind of look to the wolf and be like, you might want to turn back into you. Unless this is really you and you turn into a person. At which point in time, turn into a person.
No, we can stop. It seems like we won't be fighting anymore. And then that's what I say upon turning back, donning my witch robes,
Yeah.
and that's it.
The robbers move in. The bastard! Killer's in here! You're just hearing general commotion from the voice in the center. That eerie, sick presence.
As I have a bow, I will head down the rope last, because if one of them peeks their head in, they're going to catch an arrow, probably.
We
Smart.
could set the building
Also-
on fire.
I also would
If we
have
had
liked
fire.
It's
would
true.
do that.
to have eaten Peller's toe, as to keep with the same MO. Before I turn back, make sure, in case they're just the same person.
Drachna's in on it!
Blame it on a fake serial killer. But
Okay,
same
alright.
thing. Just eat a toe beforehand. That's all. So hopefully they say something about the
Sickness
toe.
plot. All right, Drachna, are you dropping off first?
Sounds good.
Yeah. For sure.
Okay, we need an ability to essentially prevent
Let's see.
taking damage
I'm
from
trying
this
to-
fall.
I think
Yeah,
cunning
we
would
can do
probably be
that.
best.
Quick, probably, I would think. But...
Yeah, I like quick or accurate
Quick makes
because
sense.
you're just trying to fall accurately. Yeah,
I would be happy to take quick.
yeah. Let's do quick.
All right, 8 under 13. So good there.
Land. You were just sucked up by the river and delivered downstream like that.
It's my forest.
We recognize Karlio is last, so Geshvilk, do you jump before Maevryn?
Please jump after me, because first it's
Yeah, Geshvilk.
lay up.
Mhm.
A hand gets laid on by the blessings of Prios be healed. You heal 6. I think all you took was 5. So
Oh, thank goodness.
um,
That's still half
have
my
fun
life.
with that. And then after the lay on hands, Maevryn just pushes off and dives, backflipping it into the river.
Yeah.
5 under 13.
Okay. And I mean, it's only two. Yeah, it's like a 10-meter fall or something. Yeah. Fantastic. And with sploosh, you don't have a way to know if you've been spotted because you kind of have to keep your head underwater while the river takes you. But who are you without faith? And you're not
Anybody
met with a
sign
pike.
up to stick their head?
You think they're closing in, but Geshvilk, are you going to jump?
Well, Geshvilk can't leave Karlio here.
So okay. What would you say then?
Karlio, we go now. We jump together.
Sure. I double check to make sure there's not anybody behind coming and sticking their head in the door. One last peek. ST. Anybody sticking their head in the door?
So it's at this moment that people swarm in. It's like 2 or 3 people, and the rest are like right
Okay.
behind.
Sure.
No fire. Jump now.
Sure. If it's jump or fire, then I jump. If it's jump and movement
Right.
and fire, then I will fire one before to give someone pause. But it's up to you,
Okay,
storyteller.
I will let you fire if you're trying to fire. Your group hasn't been spotted in this situation, but firing an arrow.
Fair enough.
But
If
you
they
can.
don't know
I
we're
will
here, then
absolutely
yeah,
give it to you.
Well, it's just a question of if they don't see me and I can just jump and they're never going to see me, that's much more tactically sound. If it's a case of they know we're there and they're charging in and they spot us, I'm going to make somebody regret coming through that door.
Right.
So if you're telling me they are unaware, then I jump. If you're telling me they're aware, then one of them eats an arrow.
Sounds good. Yeah,
So
you're almost positive they don't know you're there. They're the person in the center of
in
this
the
thing
water
is
we
just
go.
telling people to search. Yeah, let's do a check for both of you.
I have rolled a 6. Under 14 for accuracy.
All right.
I rolled earlier. Do you want me to roll again?
No. Well done, everybody. No issue. Landing in the water and making way out. You hear a scream of frustration. If anybody does stick their head out for any reason, you'll see people filing out. Again, 6 men and women, plus a hooded figure. You can't get a good look, but if anybody is still attempting to get a look, I can give you a description. You just have to attempt not to be seen. Okay.
No. Geshvilk
Bye,
knows the shadow.
Ocean.
That's what's important.
Fantastic. The scene ends. We enter a very, very brief interlude. Our final one for the night. You exit the water, and it is immediately as cold as you could possibly imagine. You're unscathed. Keller's dead. Who knows what happened to Telk? People are looking for somebody. What do you guys do as you finally emerge from the river?
How far
How
downstream?
warm is the sunstone? Oh, sorry.
I'm just wondering, like, are we far enough away that we, from the tower? Like, how far do we feel like we got carried down?
You think you're safe? Yeah, I mean, you swam downstream, I imagine, for a bit, and then trudged southbound until you felt that these people weren't on your trail. At least you don't have tracks, so it's probably a safe distance.
Oh, okay. Geshvilk's gonna start looking for tinder, anything to start a fire then.
Right.
Stone.
I'm going to check to see how warm the stone is compared to me. Is it like keeping me warm? Is it giving off energy to actually kind of be warm compared to like the freezing area I am in? Or is it not? Is it just a heavy kind of lukewarm rock?
Yeah, it's like a sun-kissed rock. It's not very hot.
Okay.
Yep.
All good. I will clear out a campfire spot then, as we have done many times, and prepare to
that's what
heal
I-
ourselves, because that becomes real important.
Exactly. I was just gonna fall back on witch strats and start to build the campfire.
Yeah.
Been out here long enough on my own.
How's our noble priest doing? Is he like unaware of these survival techniques in the woods? Does he look out of place, or does he look like he knows what he's doing?
He does not know what he's doing. He is a city boy. But the stone.
I have the stone. It's safe.
Yes, but
Do you want the stone? We have to heat ourselves before we can head back, or we'll freeze.
in the hands of the right person, it can create fire.
Who are the right person?
I should be able to attune to it, yes.
I kind of move the conversation so that Drachna is behind the priest and kind of nod in the center of like the other person I know that does magic is okay with this. that I'm handing over the magical item to the other person that does magic. It's kind of what I'm looking for.
And I'm like, yeah, no, it's. I'm like, yeah,
Okay.
you know, it's perfectly fine. It's okay. Father can get
Then I totally hand him over the stone. It's one of those situations where, like, he doesn't suddenly become a cosmic god if I hand him a stone and it goes downhill real fast.
It's like, oh, you had 5 other stones before I handed you this. You seem really strong now. Maevryn.
Attunes to the stone. As he does so, same sort of pale orange glow from his eyes, same glow that was briefly viewed as he healed Geshvilk, goes, blinks, eyes are a little bloodshot, and then, okay, this should work. And just with the tinder, lights the fire.
With stone in your hand, you feel a great warmth, but continue.
This is how they get through the coldest parts of the Titans. I suggest a lack of modesty at this point. Clothes are wet. We need to hang them up and dry them out.
I'll go up to Maevryn and, you know, I just... Man, now you smell bad. I'm sure
There's a small price to
probably
be paid
nothing.
for.
Oh,
No,
there is.
there's a small price to be paid for any form of magic. The world's broken, as it is in the texts. After the fall of the Grand Empire, the world became a darker place. That's what lies in Davokar. That's what waits for those who go further north. It's better to live a simple life outside the woods, not disturb things that are broken.
Well, it doesn't help when you don't understand the things in the forest. You know, your magic perhaps does this, maybe after some time, but my magic gives me resistance against the corruption, against the taint. And as I grow stronger, this resistance will grow. I don't share the same sentiment, but your sacrifice is known and understood. If that's what you wanted, of course.
It should be temporary. Thing with magic, at least that from Prios, is it is a gift not to be abused. If done in a measured fashion, one can live a long life. But if one abuses his gifts, one falls, and the fall is terrible. You fall out of the god's favor and become something far from his light.
You play a dangerous game teetering back and forth when you can stop resisting the flow of nature, go with the wind, and not encounter the same level of severe corruption that you talk about. But if anything happens to you, we'll be here to make sure that you're returned to the proper place, one way or another.
I hope that is not a means of concern, and that you never have to. But
Of course.
it is a grace that you provide. Thank you. I practice what I do because it is able to knit bone and seal bleeding. It is a gift and a burden, one I gladly carry.
Well, I've clearly been away for so long that there are machinations farther and grander than that which I could have ever imagined prior. I will stay with you, Father, and we do seem to have a sort of symbiotic relationship, as well as the other members of this wonderful party. I'll do my best to stay out of things and see the joys and magic that the other world has to offer. Hopefully, I'll be able to find something in this quest that'll return me to my Karvasti people and finally complete my trials. Until then, I am single-minded in that effort.
He smiles at her. It seems we're on a very same path, but one that forks once we get there.
Ooh. Can I, in
See how
that
it turns out.
moment, Maevryn of Yndaros, Drachna of essentially Karvasti, standing, flanking the sunstone that has provided warmth, completely butt naked, in land south of the Titans. Somehow you have a lot in common, and nobody would have called that. But I think that's where we're going to end off for tonight. Well done. Great job. No one's a serial killer yet, because you have to kill a lot more people. So keep it up. Keep up the good work.
You also need a cooldown period and lots of other things, but that's not the point.
2 toes. Got 2 toes so far. That's a tally.
Like, I'm just letting you know. Like, there's a cooldown period involved. There's usually
Wait a couple days. Take a toe.
Right. Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Just be careful how you word things.
Exactly. Why don't we go around, talk about where we are? Also, you could mention the show that's coming up, so people can stay tuned. But starting with Sam.
Hello, I'm Sam Scribbles, making sure I'm not muted. I'm fine. ScribblingPenny on the internet, on Twitter. You can find me all over Weave the Tale. I'm always here, usually just behind the scenes, but I am super excited to get to be on a long-form campaign here with Symbaroum, and I really hope Geshvilk gets to eat more toes and do more things. It's gonna be a good time. Otherwise, you can find me on Wednesday running upriver, downriver, where they will not be jumping into the river at first. We'll have a boat. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be fun. So make sure you tune in on Wednesday. I have an amazing cast. And then, yeah, I think that's all you can find me until Sunday over on Penny for a Tale playing Pathfinder 2E with that guy as the GM again. There's a pattern here. Ian's just a wonderful GM, so thank you for running Symbaroum. It's a great setting. But yeah, anything Weave the Tale, just make sure you follow us on Twitter, join our Discord for all of the up-to-date information of what we're doing, what shows we have planned. A lot of amazing stuff is going to be happening this season that you are not going to want to miss out on, so make sure you hit that follow button, subscribe if you are able to, but most importantly, just stay around and have fun. So yeah.
All right. I'm bringing it over. Pope.
Hey everybody, Pope here. Popeworldbuild on Twitter, Popeworldbuild on Twitch. I lurk in all your streams. Lots of unexpected things happened, but that is the nature of stories, especially collaborative ones. That is why we play. If you are interested in seeing more of my ridiculous face, you get a number of opportunities throughout the week. Coming up next is Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern over on Follow Black Cats. You get to see me play someone completely different, far more villainous, and would have just killed every single person in his way as I play Chernobog, my favorite disaster spy, as part of the spy game Hexcrawl. Then on Saturday, there's premiere on another channel, Valdrianth, as I get to be a reformed devil of sorts, of the House of Black in Defiance. That is at 9 p.m. Eastern over on Valdrianth's channel. And then Sunday, at 3 p.m. Eastern here over on Weave the Tale, we get down with some good dogs, with Pugmire What Lies Buried. The cast, I am so lucky to work with all these incredibly talented people. Many familiar faces to the channel, especially for longtime viewers, and a few new ones. So if you are interested, please come on down for something that will have definitely lightness, but is heavily inspired by Redwall. So there might be some like secretive dim levels of dark to contrast that light. But as always, thank you all so much for being here. We're live, VOD, YouTube, wherever you are. A story is nothing without its audience, who are as much a part of this as we are. Thank you all so much. Take care. See you next time.
I'm enjoying the accidental main character that is Maevryn and his past. That's been such a treat. Anthony?
Hey everybody. Yep, it's me, Anthony, at Prainntheplague on Twitter, and that's where you can find me. It was such a pleasure to play with my friends and fellow weavers on Symbaroum. It's our first game of the season, and many more are coming. I'm really enjoying the game so far, just trying to get used to it. So it's very high stakes. The jump there was quite a ride, so I'm looking forward to what comes next. I'm having fun playing a joyful but potentially violent witch who eats toes and assists in fake serial murders and thievery of all kind, which is not where I was expecting to go, but I'm very happy about it. You can find me on Friday right here on Weave the Tale as well. 9 p.m. Eastern. For Blue Rose, we're doing a true Westmarch style queer and trans stories in a high court setting. It's going to be a lot of fun, very like bright colors, fairy tales, sometimes some horror as well. But I'm hoping to keep it very like powerful, and just really excited to play with a diverse cast for so many people for each game. So each session will become, a completely new cast. So come and check it out if there are people you'd like to support, but also if you just want to see different games in the same setting and see that format for a different game. So that's what I got for Blue Rose. Check it out this Friday.
Heck yeah. Moving on down, we have Paul.
Hey everybody, you can find me at PaulMarchant6 on Twitter. Also lurking in a lot of channels. Not hard to find, usually since he's 0GP there. You can see me here Weave this season. I'm doing a pretty short arc of escape from Aslan's Shadowrun game. We're going to explore the criminality of Shadowrun. A lot of times in Shadowrun, people consider themselves the heroes of their own story, fighting against the big corpse. We're going to see what that life leads to in very different environments when you're dealing with the average person on the street. Not even on the street, the average person in a well-to-do place, for lack of a better term, and see how that changes things. You can also find me on Response Team Omnicron podcast, which there should be a press pack about that coming here, so there'll be links next time you see me. We are just hit 750 downloads, so get out there and try to get us to 1,000. Yeah, be all about that. Super good there, and I'm also going to be showing some of these one-shots, so it'll be fun to see and play with people again. We'll have a great season moving forward this season, and it'll be super fun. Great way to kick off the new year.
All right. I guess that leaves me. Dear Mitchell, also running a Shadowrun game, and we'll be playing in a number of other games, including the Pathfinder game and the Vampire the Masquerade game that's coming up in a week or two. He is the paladin protecting us from the awoken baby, essentially. I've been Ian. I'm here. I'm also on the Penny for a Tale channel. You can find me at Ianvjames on Twitter. But yeah, all I've got is a lot of love for the Symbaroum book that I've been reading. This was a great introduction into two things. One, the setting, And if you're new to the channel, Paul's capability of absolutely obliterating enemies. If it's one enemy, if it's just one enemy, absolutely wrecked. Is level 1 geek raiding us? We were going to raid you. You know that, right? We no. What? That would be like a pirate ship coming up and getting boarded. Oh no. Well, now you have to tell us who to raid. Guys. Gonna make me cry. Well, I don't know. I was literally just about to say goodbye and run the trailer, but I have to stop and say I know. Such timing. Well, if we have anything, I say we bomb someone with a raid of 40 people. That would be fun. But I just need to know who to send this Death Star to. Also, watch the VOD in a week because it is getting really good. We're playing the Promised Land, but we're going to be running this Symbaroum game for a while, and it's going to be a great time. Madame Gandalf, let's do it. I will get on that, but yeah. Follow us where you follow us. There is a tweet promoting this that's at 27 retweets. I'm going to drop it because it has everybody's Twitter handles. You can follow all of us because I think for the most part we're all posting. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and good night, and also hello all of those raiders.
In the ruins of Symbaroum, a dream site revealed a well, a cauldron, a sinkhole. Out of its depth a blightling came sidling, filth forged in flesh, cruelty carved in bone, a decoction of the world serpent's marrow. The blight beast ogled me hungrily, and in its burning eyes I saw the death of all.